I tend to think about things for a long time and in little bits and pieces. That sort of grows into making work, and maybe that's why it's difficult for me to talk about these flashes of realization.
People, when they hear music they don't like, don't say that's not music. Art is really very similar in that respect. And you don't have to decide whether or not it's art. You can just decide whether or not you like that kind of art.
It's not easy. I don't think it's ever gonna be. It's still a struggle for survival. It's a struggle for expression.
You know, every time you make something, it raises more questions. It's almost like having a conversation with my work. All of that comes from my journey.
It was written, I guess, that some part of my career would be dealing with artwork. I do think creativity is also a way of life. It's just something that's there.
Your concentration has to remain right on your work. And it produces this really calm effect. And the feeling that we get from it is almost indescribable.
I think most creativity is driven by a person's spirituality on some level, whether they're conscious of it or not. It transcends the mundane, the ordinary. It takes you to a different place, but it's driven, I think, by your spirit.
I think most people who are making their life out of making art almost can't help it. They're just driven to do it. It's not a fixed journey. It's a journey that has some adventure in it when it comes to making. But it's also at the core of why you make art. I mean, why do you make art? Because you have a little bit of faith that this is going to make a difference.
You're kind of playing with fire a little bit or walking the line. And so I think that's what kind of keeps the work exciting.
There's not much difference between an artist and a scientist. You know, you're trying to define yourself in the universe that you're living in.
You just never know what life have in store for you. You know, we are looking for a certain shape, and it's not all the time that basket is going to come out like that. Sometimes this basket takes on its own shape of what it's going to be. So sometimes you have to just wait to see what you're going to get.
The ideas come from this reservoir of things that have a certain resonance in terms of culture and gender and narrative. But I don't break it down and I don't try to understand it or make it linear. I just know that they're back there and I know what I'm drawn to.
I've had a lot of people tell me that, oh, that tree you've got in the back of your truck, it'd be worth a lot more if you took it to the sawmill. And you know, they don't have any idea what I'm making or anything like that. When I started working on this process, I was at a contemporary art school and I had a chainsaw and I was carving my work out of wood. And it's like, well, wood is a medium. It's not necessarily labeled as craft or art. I mean, so I had those boundaries, and then when working with the chainsaw and making the sculptural forms and refining the way I was having turners and people telling me that, oh, you can't make it that way, you can't do this. You know, I do think that people telling me I can't do something does motivate me. I don't know if it's a good trait or not, but it seems to have brought me a long ways.
I went down a different road, not seen by all my friends. coats and ties just never fit, nor all those fancy trends. Then one day it came to me what I would have to do. My hands would shape my vision, my art would see me through. Can you see that part of me that I can no longer hide? Can you see my hopes and dreams and everything inside? It's the journey of my soul, you see, the journey of my soul.